Hey, welcome to another episode of Amp Up Solar Talk. Today we're bringing in a name that if you've been in solar for a while, you may recognize. OutBack Power is back. Joining us today is Brandon Andrews. He's going to be talking to us today about the EnergyCell 5 battery, the evolution of the brand, and what's coming next. If you're watching live, be sure and drop your questions in the chat. We'd love to include you in the conversation. Brandon, thanks so much for joining us today. Welcome to the show.
Oh my goodness, so happy to be here. Thank you very much. This is fantastic.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for you to be here and to have you talk to us today. So let's start with a little bit of background.
Sure.
Tell us who OutBack Power is.
Yeah, that's a long story. It goes way beyond my time with OutBack, but I'll tell you, I couldn't be more proud of the lineage that OutBack does bring. You know, they've been around for a very long time. Started off with a lot of off-grid things, then moved into grid-tied solutions and batteries. And they've really been a brand that people have learned to trust as a marquee, off-grid, reliable, bulletproof product. That's something that's been really interesting for me as I go through this, to meet somebody who comes up to me and says, "Hey, Brandon, I've been using OutBack stuff for 15 years," and show me pictures of solutions that have been installed in a top of a mountain somewhere that has been working nonstop since the day it was installed. That's truly incredible.
Yeah, so they're known as really reliable products.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think they started with the off-grid community mostly?
I think it has to do with the people that started it, right? This is back in like circa 2001 timeframe, so quite a while ago, like we were saying. They were really forward thinking, and they were also really looking at trying to figure out how to get to what a real world solution looks like and what it would take from an engineering perspective to build something that people can trust and depend on. So there was really no shortcuts taken in the way things were built. It was built to withstand that remote, dry, hot, just really unforgiving climate, and even weather patterns. I mean, huge amount of success in the island chains of the Caribbean, things like that, where hurricanes are routinely wiping things out, and these people depend on that, not just for convenience, but for livelihood. And OutBack's really made a strong reputation there.
Nice. So OutBack Power is back with some true momentum. What have you guys been focused on most recently?
For us, a lot of it has to do with just trying to get back in the field. There's been a lot of developments towards new products. Obviously, we're here to talk about the EnergyCell 5 a little bit. That's a step in that direction, but really it's one of many to come, right? It's really about trying to figure out how to modernize the brand, move forward while never giving up on the reliability and the serviceability and all the things that made us so good to begin with.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it. I think that as we continue going forward, it's really going to see, I think I'm excited. I hope everybody else gets excited. It's going to be a transition, right? To go from the legacy product lines that we love so dearly and to seeing how we can take that same momentum of great products and that great tradition and bring it into newer, more modern solutions.
Yeah. So when we talk about the EnergyCell 5 battery.
Yes, ma'am.
This is your brand new product that you're bringing in with this new momentum. Give me a broad overview of what this new battery system is.
Well, we wanted it to kind of feel classic OutBack, but at the same time bring modern features, right? So it's one of those things where, again, going back to our founders and where we came from originally, we wanted something easy to install, highly supportable, highly resilient. And that's what you have here, right? We have a product that is, built to withstand the extremes of temperature and weather and so forth, while also, having the modular aspect that people loved about our old, Flex line and our Radiant lines with modular components. Same thing here with this battery. It's not a big box that's magic behind the scenes. It's a stackable solution that you can easily add to and scale to meet your needs as those change over time. Because let's be honest, your demand for power is not static. Small things like deciding to add an EV to your home or something like that could drive a significant increase in need. So we try to build that product, like I said, that just really stays with that tradition, but also moves us forward.
Yeah. So these batteries, How many can you stack?
You can stack up to 8 batteries in a stack. And keep in mind that each battery is roughly 5 kilowatt hour. So you can get about 40 kilowatt hour in a stack, and you can parallel those 3 wide. So in theory, you can get to a little over 120 kilowatt hour in a single installation pretty easily.
That's a lot of backup power.
That is a fair bit. That
Yeah.
is enough to support most use cases, I do believe. But the most important thing there is, like I said, it's really about meeting that demand as you need it. Not everybody has the ability to go out and purchase 120 kilowatt hour day one.
Yeah.
But they probably can purchase 15, or maybe that's all they need, whatever it is. But the ability to simply go out and buy one additional battery a year or something to meet whatever you want is super flexible. You're not committing to another large purchase. You're not redesigning your home system. You're not having to change the way your inverter connects or anything. You're just buying that one module, placing it on top of the stack, and you're ready to go.
So I know with a lot of battery systems, when you add, let's say I started with 3 and 2 years later, I wanted to add another 2 batteries because I was able to save up, to add another 2, right? So you said I don't have to redesign my system. With a lot of batteries, you do have to think about the design.
Right.
Why is this so easy? You say I don't have to redesign.
Well, the nice thing about it is this thing is all built with, and by the way, the documentation is all provided showing every possible configuration of this, from the smallest stack of 3 all the way to that full build out by every battery quantity. We make sure we provide that kind of guidance. We want everybody to see exactly what it takes to do this. But
I will say the documentation was very well done. When I look through it, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
1 extra battery, it's there.
Yes, exactly.
2 stacks, it's there.
Right. And so just the way the system's built and the software, the way it auto recognizes when batteries are added, auto IDs, it just makes everything far more simple than trying to have to bring in somebody and turn it into a giant science project for how to make it work again.
Yeah.
It's plug and play, as it should be.
Do you have to worry about the different capacities if you're adding a couple of years later?
No, this is the great thing about this battery is the way the BMS is designed, the way it's all set up, everything is auto leveling between all the batteries. Everything is very consistent and resilient that way. The only thing that a user really needs to think about when it comes to adding a battery to this is just normal safety concerns, maintaining distances. If you're adding another parallel stack, making sure that you're following AHJ guidance and you're keeping your separations for safety and fire and things like that, just in case, obviously. But otherwise, no, there's not any serious planning or homework that has to go into that. It's just deciding that you have a need and adding a battery.
Let's talk about that for just a second. I've had a chance to connect these.
Sure.
And I was very impressed, honestly, with the manual and how easy it was. But once you connected a couple of batteries,
yes, ma'am.
I mean, the wiring was pretty much the same. Once you understand how they're wired up, it didn't matter if you're doing 3 or 4 or 5. It's the same every time.
Yes.
And whether you're doing 1 stack or 2 or 3 to parallel, the paralleling is all the same. It doesn't change.
It is.
And so that repeatability made me feel a whole lot more comfortable about what I was doing. It wasn't complex.
I'm super happy to hear that. I mean, that's obviously a big part of the design intent.
Yeah.
Whenever you open the battery box, it's going to have, the couple cables you need to add that to the stack. Like you said, there's absolutely a pattern there. It's very simple to wire up. And the great thing is once you've done, as an installer, you've done one of these, at that point, it's just muscle memory because that design is so repetitive, just the way you stack them up. So hopefully that'll lead to increased efficiency and time and everything, which we also know is important. Time is super important for everybody. We don't want this to be a relatively easy thing to install. I mean, that's one of the big takeaways for this, in addition to being able to add capacity, is it's not some giant unwieldy thing to manage. You're not having to pick up a 300-pound part and move it. It's a modular componentized solution that's IP65 and all the built-in features you want, and relatively turnkey.
Yeah, so these can sit outdoor. They're auto ID, which is really, really nice. But let's talk about some of those other safety features that you
Sure.
kind of mentioned. Talk to me about the built-in heating feature
Sure.
and the fire suppression.
Yeah, I mean, these things are built to be tough, right? So there's built-in fire suppression for sure. There is thermal blankets inside, so you can get down into those negative temperatures. Um, you know, the other thing is that's really interesting with the safety on these is that there is there's only in a single 8 stack of batteries with all of those safety features installed. You know, we obviously believe that there's good safety in everything that is built. We still want to recommend that obviously you pay attention to your HJs, you follow the manuals. Like, even though we know this is a very safe product, we always make sure, you know, no matter how much we talk about this being a simple solution to install and everything else, we do want to make sure that, you know, if you have questions, ask, reach out to the appropriate professionals, don't guess, just to be safe.
Sure. Now, let's talk about communication.
Sure.
How do these things communicate?
So they can speak RS-45, they can speak CAN. So most of your, you know, right now on the wall behind us here, as you see, you have an AG4 12,000 XP hooked up to a parallel stack of these EC5 batteries. And that communication will be handled over CAN.
And that's closed loop communication that
Absolutely.
you're talking about with the CAN communication. What's the difference between closed loop and open loop?
Yeah, with the closed loop communication, you're just going to have a whole lot more data and control over the batteries. So you're going to have all your state of charges, your limits, your temps, and everything. It's all going to be communicating continuously bidirectionally between both the battery and the inverter. That's just going to turn out to be better performance, you know, and honestly a little bit better protection at the same time. Open loop also works. You know, the system is designed to work that way as well. But yes, absolutely. You know, if you look in the manual, you'll see there's actually a pretty wide range of brands that these batteries are capable of talking closed loop with.
Yeah, but it also doesn't communicate, but it works in open loop as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So,
the batteries are absolutely completely able to run open loop. The BMS will take care of itself, and everything will be just fine. So you have really unlimited options.
very versatile. Now, you guys right now just have the batteries that are coming out as a new product, but as you stated, you have reliable products of inverters that have been out there for a long time. Would these work with your legacy products as well?
Absolutely. That's one of the really cool things. If you're, you know, an existing OutBack customer and you have no storage, or perhaps an old lead acid storage that's getting aged and needs to be upgraded, your existing Mate 3S controller that you have in your system, we can have that communicate directly with the EC5, and you can have communication there. So this is absolutely a great upgrade opportunity for all of those older customers who've had those systems for a long time, if they're looking to gain a little capacity and pick up a new battery.
Okay. We do have a question from Paul Milner. He says, when does OutBack support return?
Oh, that's a very pointy question, but I will have to say it's probably fair. OutBack Power support, I'll tell you, you know, when we talked about getting back into the field, you know, this has been a big story, a big climb for us to come back. Obviously, there's been some transitions, some changes. I'm sure that a lot of you are aware of some of the movement that's happened within the company. What I can say is that there is a lot of push right now to create new support infrastructure, building out new channels for distributors and installers and users to have dedicated resources, direct phone numbers, call-in support, and everything. You know, I get a regular amount of traffic from customers who have expressed some frustration. So I actually really appreciate your hard question. I think it's fair. And what I can tell you is we are making a lot of decisions right now to make sure that that's improved.
Great. We have another question from Abarama Gold. It says, I've been a fan of OG OutBack and I need to upgrade my system. What problem does OutBack solve that other companies have ignored?
Well, I think that's great. I mean, I think that if first of all, we appreciate you being a fan and a longtime customer. I think that's great. And I will tell you that everything we're doing right now has customers like you in mind. Like that's the kind of customer that we want to make sure we preserve. So when we're building all these new products, it's trying to figure out how do we ensure all of those things that Outback has always been is still in our new product lines. That heritage, that legacy has to be there. And so what I would say to you is all of the rugged reliability and the things that you loved about us, the good support and everything, we're going to make sure that that is paramount in everything we do going forward. This is a turnaround. Like you said, Outback's back. We're coming. And we're going to repair these things that, such as support and stuff like that. And we have so much exciting things coming down the pike. And I can't wait to share some of that detail. But just stay tuned. That's all I can tell you at this exact moment. But stay tuned. There's some great things coming. And I think you'll be super excited.
Well, we can't wait to hear about those great things.
I'm sure it is. And like I said, it's not, the CC5 is the first step, right? We obviously wanted to get a battery solution out there. But of course we have other products, inverters and things as well that are coming, and we're super excited about that.
Okay. So, you guys have been known for reliability, and it feels like a really solid step forward in the platform with this, as you call it, the EC5, right? The EnergyCell 5. And you've talked about having other exciting things on the horizon, but we can't pull them out of you right now. That's always a question I try to ask. What should the solar community be watching for from Outback Power over the next year or so?
Yeah, over the next year or so, I think the big things are, these two questions are such the right questions to be asked. And that is, I need something new and you don't have it. What are you going to give us? And two is, how are you going to get back to where we have that trusted relationship of unmatched customer service, support, and everything else? There's no two truer things that could have been said during this live stream. And like I said, I'm happy to see those. That's fundamental, not just product, but also that brand. Making sure that we honor that, making sure that we figure out how to repair any damage that's been done. That is probably the first step. The second step is making sure that you have a really good system that offers all of those things that made you buy Outback the first time, buy it a second time.
Yeah, what I keep hearing you saying is you want your customer to be happy, and as a philosophy, you're going to provide reliability, ruggedness, and power, right?
Better believe it.
Well, Brandon, I really appreciate you joining us today and sharing the story behind Outback Power and bringing to us the EnergyCell 5 and all those things that we have to look forward to from Outback Power.
Yes, thank you very much. This has been great, and there's obviously more to come.
Yeah.
And I look forward to being able to share some of those details.
Yeah, we look forward to it too. Hey, if you'd like to learn more about the EnergyCell 5 battery, visit us at signaturesolar.com. And if you'd like to learn about if the EnergyCell 5 would fit your next project, feel free to think through this with our team here. They'll help you see if the EnergyCell 5 might be right for your system. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Facebook at Signature Solar US so you never miss an episode. And next time, Off Grid Kenny will be back. We're building something pretty cool that you won't want to miss. So we'll see you next time right here on Amp Up.